Joined by our buddy, Ron, the car guy from Westside Auto Pros. And boy, what are we going to talk about today, my friend?
You know, we're going to talk about dashboard warning lights.
Good idea.
And people don't always understand what the lights are. There are over 100 variations of dashboard warning lights for vehicles.
100?
100. Now, not all cars have 100 on there because, you know, it depends on what options and stuff your car has.
It's a lot of pieces of electrical tape you got to use to cover all those up.
Yeah,
you got to get the big roll, you know.
Yeah. Rust-Oleum flat black works too. So.
I had a picture on my Facebook page that showed a dashboard that had like they had imposed 100 icons on there, and my dear friend Carmen had put on there that we should test Ron the car guy and see if he knows all 100 of them. And Ron the car guy would not know all 100 of those.
But what are the ones that are the ones you should really pay attention to the most?
And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, are basically what I consider the top three.
Okay.
I mean, that we see coming in. Of course, the number one, and I don't know if we've got a photo to put up of this or not, but the number one is the check engine light. And that's the one that everybody's most familiar on because it seems to come on the most often.
Right.
And the check engine light can come on for dozens, if not hundreds of different reasons. But the thing to keep in mind with the check engine light is if it does come on your vehicle and it's on solid, and the car seems to run okay, it's all right to continue to drive it for a while and get it into the shop at your next earliest convenience.
Okay.
If the light comes on and it starts flashing, then you want to pull over to the side of the road or the next, safe area that you can and turn the car off.
Wow.
Because
okay.
when it's flashing, there's something serious going on that can damage other components. You don't want to continue driving the vehicle.
And that happens in all vehicles? There is a solid and there's a flash?
That is across the board for check engine lights on any vehicle sold in the United States.
Well,
they're solid, they're flashing.
I've never seen that. I've seen solid. I've never seen flashing.
I was under the hood of your car before I came up here this morning.
Yeah.
You'll see it on the way home.
She probably will.
We're going to see Ron this afternoon. All right.
But the other thing about check engine lights, and I've heard this over the years, people, their car will come in and the check engine light will be on, and you'll talk to them about it, and they'll be like, oh, that's been on for 3 months, or someone told me it's on for no reason, or it's not important. That light does not come on for no reason. And
something triggered it.
Exactly. And if someone tells you that the light's on for no apparent reason, then run from them and go find someone else that can tell you why it's on.
Because if it has one of those lights, chances are it has a wire loom where they can plug something into it.
Absolutely.
And tell you what's wrong with why that light came on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And there are reasons that check engine lights come on that maybe aren't as important in the state of Iowa. Because we don't have emissions testing, so you might have a you might have a light on for an emissions reason. It's not affecting the performance of the car. It's not going to cause it to stop. But that's still not a reason to ignore it, because if you ignore that light, what's going to happen is when something else fails that would turn the light on, you're not going to know.
Because it's already on.
It's already on. You're ignoring it. And the thing that fails, the second one that could turn the light on, could be damaging something inside of there, and you don't know.
Right.
So it's important to get that checked out. The next thing I want to talk about is the battery light. And it's a little icon. It looks like a battery that comes on the dash. In the 30-plus years that I've been Ron the car guy, I have never seen a bad battery turn this light on.
Really?
So if your battery light comes on, you probably do not need a battery. So don't go buy a battery and put it in.
Like an alternator or something like that?
Exactly. What it's doing is it's monitoring the system voltage. We've got a picture of the battery light up there. We're monitoring the system voltage, and if that system voltage drops below a certain point, it will turn the battery light on, which is recognized, but it doesn't mean that you need a battery. It could be an alternator. It could be as simple as a fuse or something in the wiring, but I have never in my life seen a bad battery turn the battery light on. So when you see that, don't go buy a battery because it won't fix it.
Does the light ever tell you that you're having a bad battery? Because usually
No.
Usually it's in situations where I go to start the car and it's already dead. There was no warning.
You can hear that you have a bad battery.
Yeah, I don't see a warning.
Yeah, exactly.
I just,
Exactly.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then the last photo light that I want to talk about here was oil pressure.
Okay.
And we can see there it looks like an oil can.
That's leaking.
Exactly.
You need a seal around the end of that oil can is what you need, or put the stopper in the end.
That can is defective.
Yeah.
That light has nothing to do. Well, it does a little bit, but it doesn't indicate how much oil's in your car. It's looking at pressure.
Oh.
So picture it if it was a blood pressure light. It doesn't have anything to do with how much blood you have in your body. It has to do with the pressure that your heart's pumping it through. Now, if your car was low on oil, you would have low oil pressure.
Okay.
So what I tell people is if you see that light, check the oil level. If it's full, do not operate the car. I mean, you wouldn't operate your body if you had extremely low blood pressure.
Right.
You don't want to operate your engine with low blood pressure, or it's going to ruin the engine. And we see that cars come in with catastrophic engine damage, and you start asking them questions. Were there any lights on the? Well, the oil can light's on, but it's been coming on for months. Well, okay.
I put a can of oil in and it's fine. Yeah.
Exactly. So those are what I consider the top three: is the check engine light, the battery light, and the oil pressure light. But there are literally over 100 different lights.
Just looking at some of these here that you have listed. You have there's only you have 64 of them listed there.
Correct.
Now
there's twice as many of those.
Twice as many of those.
Yeah, there's over 100. Well over 100.
German cars have the weird ones.
Yeah, but some of them, are for information though, because like number 12, you see number 12 up there. I'm guessing that means the roads could be slick. So
Correct.
I had a car that had that, so it's basically it's be careful driving.
Or you look next to it, number 11. Now that doesn't mean put your sunglasses on.
What does that mean?
That's a glow plug light for a diesel vehicle. That tells
that
you
is really?
Yeah, that tells you the glow plugs are on.
Now number 60 on the left-hand side means you have your basically your traction control on.
Correct.
One of my cars that I had.
Correct.
Number 43, does that mean you need to go to Westside Auto Pros?
Number 43.
The wrench?
Yeah.
Little wrench there?
Yeah. Or it means you need to go buy a wrench. Absolutely. And then also, Jack, if you look at number 58 over on the left-hand side in the dial, that doesn't mean bacon's ready.
Oh.
No, that's
I like it when the bacon's
Yeah, that has nothing to do with food.
But those are some really interesting ones that are out there.
Yeah. There's just, I was out in Santa Barbara recently for some training, and I had rented a car. It was a Volkswagen, and they didn't have it set up properly. So I'm on the freeway, and when I got up to speeds over 50 miles an hour, an icon came on the dash, and it looked like a snowflake. And now, granted, it's like 74 degrees out, and I knew what the icon was, but it would probably catch people by surprise. And it was a winter tire warning, because over in Germany, cars are required to have a message that comes on if you're going over a certain speed with winter tires on. So when we talked about them,
really?
Yeah, we talked about them last week we talked about winter tires, and so in the European countries, if you put winter tires on a vehicle, then they change a setting in the setup of the dash, so over a certain speed, a warning comes on that you have your winter tires on because they might not be speed rated.
Oh, really? Wow,
And so that
Why did you have winter tires on?
There wasn't.
The setting was wrong.
Someone had the setting wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so I'd get up to highway speeds, or actually I was probably exceeding highway speeds, which is why the light came on. But anyway, the light would come on, and there was this buzzer that went off to let me know that I was going faster than the European winter tires should go. And
you sure that just wasn't somebody just saying that you were a flake?
Well, I know.
And now is a great time to remind everybody, snow is on the way, and you should probably get your winter tires. And a great place to do that
is at Westside Auto Pros.
Hey.
Yeah, check us out at westsideautopros.com. We got a brand new website up and going that's working real well. And
good, excellent.
And a lot of neat stuff on there.
Ask Ron the Car Guy.
Oh, askaroundthecarguy.com for sure.
All right.
And don't ignore those little signs even
I
if you
went
don't
in
know what they
yesterday
mean.
with a little light, and you guys fixed it right up.
There we go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A little tire light. All
Yep, I had
Very
a latte,
informative.
and you were just hanging
Oh,
out
I was
there.
great. I had a
Good to
great
go,
time.
man. Great job as always, Ron the Car Guy.
Thank you.
See you next week.
You guys have a good week.
4 minutes before 7 o'clock. We'll be right back.